When is Arknights Endfield?
Enfield when?
Enfield.
Enfield ko.
Where is the wind?
Arknight Enfield, di mana kamu?
Arknights. Enfield.
When is Enfield? Gao.
When is Arknights Endfield? Well, apparently, during yesterday's Apple event, Arknights Endfield was shown.
So you can play visually demanding games like Arknights Endfield with hardware-accelerated ray tracing at higher frame rates hour after hour.
Pretty crazy to think that Hypergraph actually put in the money to put an advertisement during the Apple event. It is a big deal, it definitely doesn't cost cheap. So I think it's a good time to talk about when the game is going to release because it's something that people ask about during my streams, sometimes in my videos. Everyone's wondering, is this game even going to come out at all? So, in this video, let's talk about it. Let's start from the very first tweet that probably got all the discussion about when Enfield will be released, and it's because of this license being obtained in August 30, 2024. So Arknights Enfield got the approval for their license, and apparently there was a saying that they must launch the game within a year from now. And if you think about it, we're way past August 30, 2025, which means the game is not coming out anymore, I suppose, but no. It is apparently mentioned that this particular policy of a game needing to be released after a year, that doesn't exist already. So the games can just simply obtain their approval and then at any point in time, hopefully soon enough, release their game. So if it's not during this August period, then when is it? Is it going to be Q4? Is it going to be Q1 of next year? Interestingly, we've also not seen any form of beta test or new open beta that is being done by Enfield. It's already been about 7 to 8 months since the last gameplay that occurred. So is there also still going to be another beta test, or is the game just slated for release? Earlier in the past few months, we also saw that Enfield participated in a lot of conventions where they attended events for China, Japan, those in Europe, and also in America. And this is the pictures from Bilibili World. So of course, this is within China itself. So they've got the picture of the wonderful cosplayers that were over there. And then they also had the event grounds. So a huge stage. There were a lot of audience participations during this one. People could try out the game at that point in time and buy the merchandise, of course. There was just such a big attendance during this particular event. Lots of people are surely hyped for Enfield. And it still begs the question of, then when is it? Hey, this is the last time I'm going to basically hold you guys back from answering when it releases, but this is Haimao's official Twitter account, and basically he's the developer, the main dev for Arknights. And he actually posted after a very long time on his Twitter that he attended Gamescom, and he managed to see the Enfield booth there, and apparently he stated that there was someone who greeted him with a delicious apple pie, and he realized that the secret ingredient was Enfield. So even he himself is asking that very question. But you are the one person who will know the answer to that. So let's realistically frame as to when Enfield is going to release. They are participating in so many of the major events promoting themselves this year, and the fact that they've even put themselves in the Apple event, it goes to say that the game has to release very soon. You can't imagine that they put all the budget to market and hype up this game only for them to attend the same events next year, and then apparently the game is still not released yet. Like, imagine them still appearing as an Apple ad and everyone's just wondering, but the game's not out. But you told me that it was going to be out last year. So of course, this would make it such that the game will probably have to be released before the middle of next year, at least. But is it going to be anytime soon? Like, is it going to be within the next quarter of this year? Is it going to be the first quarter of next year? Now, the surprising thing is that during the Apple event itself, there was an unfortunate, I don't know if it's a leak, I don't know if it's intentional, but I think Hypergraph know what they're doing. Official press release statement by Apple for the release of iPhone 17. And by the way, shocking news for those of you Android users or iPhone users, apparently the base model iPhone 17 is getting 120 FPS. After many years of not having high frame rate, it's finally getting it. Wow, amazing. Anyways, I digress. So let's go to the Enfield ad itself. You can see that they promoted Enfield specifically again within the news article. But there is a footnote right at the very bottom. And it states that at number 3, Arknights Enfield will be available in early 2026. So the thing is, they can't just spout this date out of nowhere. Someone from the company would have to tell Apple this piece of information. And it turns out that they do write their footnotes for all these things as well, so that they do proper hype. And that's probably just going to be the time frame. Now, early 2026 could be anywhere from, I suppose, January 2026 to like April 2026. It doesn't sound like it's May or June, but now you have a much narrower time frame. Alright, you don't have to go guessing that it's going to be just in the next few months or very late in the year. This is the sort of time frame. And some of you will be wondering, why is it so late of a release? I thought it's going to be releasing this year. If we look back at the Apple event video, as you can see, this is a mobile game that you guys will be able to play. And we've basically witnessed for the first time the controls for the mobile game version. And we've also seen from the Bilibili World advertisement itself that there is also going to be controller support. So there is also a good chance that this game is going to be released on console. So there's basically a variety of platforms. What seems to be occurring within Endfield right now is that they're entering a sort of final phase of development where the core of the game, like the story, the combat, they're already in the process of refining it, and then thereafter they also need to provide the support for all the other platforms, and that's what they're working on right now. They are probably already doing pretty well at that because there have already been some private beta tests that is occurring for those other type of platforms, and then possibly that is the reason why we're going to be seeing the game in the early 2026. By the way, it is also stated that this game is going to be very good for high-end phones, and there's also going to be ray tracing support apparently, and that's kind of pretty insane to say. So some of you are already mentioning that Endfield could be the way that you end your phones. We're not sure what the specs is because as of what we've seen, the game also is trying to have that compatibility fixing period right now, where they're also trying to allow as much of the mid-range phones to also survive this game, and maybe even the low-end ones. So if some of you don't have all too wonderful of devices, hopefully that's what Hypergriff is doing during this time before the game releases. Probably a final thing that I want to answer before we end off the video, which is there still going to be another beta test before the game releases? I'm not sure, I actually do not know, and some of you are probably wanting it because you want to be able to try it and then also give your own comments, but I have a personal take, which is I kind of don't want to see another open beta, and the reasoning for that is that I find that if they were to run another one, and if let's say there were a lot of abrupt changes and people don't like certain things, and the game is already wanting to be released for next year, this could be something that delays kind of the game's release. And of course some of you will say, well, it doesn't matter, I'm worried for the game, you know, I want to try the game, I want to be the one to comment, but as you saw in the way that some of the community have been discussing, lots of people have been saying about how they worry about the vision of the game and whether or not the game will be too generalized and whatnot. And that's the thing about Hypergriff. I don't think they're gonna do that. They're gonna give you a very special game. But if you get everybody to try out the game way earlier again, and so many people are feeding in their comments, I'm worried that it kind of jumbles up what they were trying to figure for the game. So at this point in time, within this whole year of development, I'm giving it that we should just give Hypergriff the time they need to refine what that sort of vision is, what they want for the game, and then just give us that final product, because that is going to be much closer to the original version that they wanted for the game. And therefore, I look forward to it. So, see you guys, I suppose, within the early of 2026. Well, it's not like I'm gonna go away, of course. I'm still gonna be making my AK videos, but see you for AK Endfield, and maybe you'll see me make more Endfield videos soon. I'm supposed to release my review video, aren't I? See you guys there. I'm about to end the video by just saying this impromptu news that I saw on stream. Hypergriff is celebrating that Endfield appeared on Apple press release. What the frick? Release the game!